do so. And the Reiki session lasts about 10 minutes, and I'll see you on the flip side. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let's just take a look at our focus card. So we have heart to heart conversations to bring about our wishes using water energy. This is filmed during the full moon in Scorpio, which is a water sign. And so hopefully it will bring whatever kind of water wish that you have. Honestly, discuss your feelings with each other. So this is going to be the conduit for your wish making. Okay? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give me a like and subscribe. Thank you so much and have a good night. Bye.